Hi everyone, it's Mario Vegas and you are watching Tank Zone, and this time we will talk about another interesting vehicle. So the star of the day is FV510 Warrior Milan. It is a tier 7 British AFV. And for those of you who just started to watch this channel, let me remind you that we will compare this vehicle to its counterparts, we will find out its pros and cons, we will determine most suitable retrofits and crew skills for this machine, and you're gonna see how this vehicle will become a competitive battle machine in the game. So, and we will discuss some tactics as well. So, the Warrior is a progression AFV that you can find on the Sophie's Tech Tree. It can be unlocked from Swingfire, and it leads to the Bradley. So, let's start with sustained damage. If we compare this vehicle's sustained damage stats to other tier 7 AFVs, then it sits somewhere in the upper middle. Don't get me wrong, this 15k plus DPM is very good. It is more than enough to give a serious fire support. Plus, additionally, Warrior can carry mechanized infantry even more, boosting its firepower and diversify its use in a game. So, the vehicle has tandem heat anti-tank guided missiles with a 870mm penetration and up to 600 damage on a penetrating hits, and it deals even 120 up to 120 damage on non-penetrating hits. So not bad, quite serious. 870mm penetration, it is very good. So by penetration, Warrior as well sits between leaders. So reload time is 6 seconds for a single missile. It's very good. And auto cannon burst rate is 516 rounds per minute, which is good enough to return fire targeting lightly armored targets, immobilizing main battle tanks, and do other duties on the battlefield. Let's talk a little bit about autocannon ammunition here, because we have 3 types of them. We have opportunity to use all 3 types of autocannon ammunition or on Warrior. But of course, you can opt for only 2 types or single ammunition type if you wish, but I chose to have all three of them. The first one is a classic 30mm armored piercing discharging saber rounds with a penetration up to 310 millimeters and damage 36. It's classic, standard, and universal. So I use it most. It is useful as a classic round, or if you wanted to say immobilize main battle tank, or penetrate lightly armored targets, or even main battle tanks from side or rear. Well, it's very classic and widely used ammunition, so I have this. Next type is a so-called hash rounds, armored piercing special effect rounds with a 30 millimeter caliber, so and penetration 120 millimeters, damage 40, and it's very useful ammo if you want to try to set an opponent engine on fire or inflict higher damages rates on lightly armored vehicles. Ammo has 500 fire chance bonus. Well, it is very, very useful, and this is why I kept it on my Warrior to deal with light armor and try to set up fires. So, and finally, the classic HE round with 10 millimeter penetration and damage up to 60, and non-penetration damage 20. It's excellent choice to deal with paper armor opponents, like for example scout tracks, like some tank destroyers, AFVs, and similar targets. So paper armor targets, I should choose this one and you will not regret. And the last but not least thing to mention, that Warrior has improved weapon cooling system. Here it is, improved weapon cooling system, which allows you to fire 50 more rounds before 50% more rounds before the barrel overheats. To be honest, it works very well. It works so good that I very rarely overheat Warrior's autocannon barrel. So, as we can see, Warrior can provide versatile and serious firepower and fire support, and in my opinion, there is not much we could do to make it better. I mean, installing gun breach at this point, in my opinion, would be a waste of a retrofit slot, and it would not make a really big difference. So that's why I chose not to install a gun breach on this machine. So let's go to defense. 2250 hit points is very good for AFV. I'm very satisfied with that. It is the highest amount of hit points among all tier 7 AFVs. Regarding armor, I must say it really depends what caliber and what ammunition type is being used against you. Let's go into armor calculator and let's pick a T90 as opponent. Here it is, T90, because this tank T90 has a lot of different ammo types. So let's start with the armored piercing fin stabilized discharging saber. As you can see, it can cause a partial ricochet. You can experience partial ricochet if you are lucky and if armor is angled, even if we start with AP rounds. So I have experienced ricochet of this type of ammunition playing with Warrior. So yes, ricochet is very much possible, but we should not rely on that. It depends just on pure luck and coincidence. So let's switch to the heat rounds. And pretty much same story about heat rounds. Only thing that you are much more protected from heat rounds on your sides, because Warrior has this opportunity to upgrade its armor with ERA. So we are with ERA and some cage. And let's go for anti-tank guided missiles. These are tandem heat missiles. Anti-tank guided missiles, TH, tandem heat. So pretty much same story as with AP rounds. Yeah, you can experience some partial penetrations, some partial protection. And let's finally switch to HE rounds, and bam, here you go. The Warrior Milan is very well protected against the HE rounds, even with stock armor. See, with the stock armor from any side, you are protected against HE ammunition. And here we talk about 120 millimeter caliber rounds, not 30. Now let's take a look at the protection against autocannon ammunition. I pick Ramka 99 because this vehicle has a very tremendous fire rate, and it's very powerful as a machine on a battlefield in a game, and it has as well thermobaric missiles, which we can test in our armor calculator. So let's start with the armored piercing discharging saber 30 millimeter rounds, and story is pretty much same as with AP rounds fired from a tanks with a 125 millimeter caliber. So a little bit more protection against autocannon AP rounds than against tank. AP rounds. And here is the same story about HE rounds. HE is a similar situation as with 125 millimeter ammunition. Protection from any side except these three weak spots on the machine. And finally, let's switch to thermobaric anti-tank guided missiles. So, and you can see our Warrior Milan is very much protected against thermobaric missiles. So, except again, the three weak spots. So, let's go back to garage. Therefore, we can say that Warrior has average protection, definitely not paper armor, but it should avoid AP and heat ammunition. And it's worth to mention that the Warrior has best protection against HE ammo, disregarding its caliber between all tier 7 and 8 AFVs. So, therefore, as it has a good firepower, autocannon rate, and decent hit point pool, it can be used to fight back lightly armored opponents. So, let's go to the mobility. Average top speed, I would say, for AFV. Moderate acceleration, 3.7 seconds, and moderate hull traverse, 45.1 degrees per second. However, I personally feel that this vehicle is a bit clumsy, not moderate, but a little bit on the average regarding agility, especially after you upgrade its armor. A vehicle size little bit increases, it becomes a little bit kind of bulky, it gets wide, and it feels like it is a bit too wide. Well, it's my personal feeling. So anyway, to make the vehicle a bit more agile, I opt for improved filter system as a retrofit to increase its acceleration by 15%. So let's install improved filter system. Mobility improved filter system here, and here we go. Acceleration drops to 3.14 seconds, which I feel a little bit more comfortable with. Additionally, this retrofit will give a 50% engine hit points increase. To be honest, I never felt that I need this 50% engine hit point increase, but anyway, it's there. So, and let's pick off-road driving and spin-to-win skills for a driver. Off-road driving will give us 20% acceleration boost on off-road terrain, and spin-to-win will give us a 5% hull traverse speed increase, popping it up to 47.27 degrees per second, which is good, which gives a little bit more agility. It's again a personal preference. Let's go to utility. Average camo, average. Not bad vision range of 458.8 meters, 8.8 meters. It's boost from Sabrina. So you cannot outbeat Scout tracks with this vision, but you are not lagging behind other Eagle Eyes as well. So it's not bad. I suggest installing augmented optics to boost vision range close to 500 meters. Let's install augmented optics, and bam, it goes up to 493.8 meters. And but if your gaming tactic and style is more or less static or different, you may consider installing telescopic lenses. So another retrofit that I would like to suggest at this point is electro-optical absorbing paint to get let's see what it will give us. It will give us a 47 camo, 47% camo while we stationary. As a commander, I pick, as I said, Sabrina because of her good camo, vision range, spotting through foliage, foliage camo, and camo penalty while firing reducement skill boosts. So, if you have any suggestion or a different opinion how to set up this vehicle, please share that with others in the comment section. But now let's go into the targeting section and let's take a look. -8 depression, 45 degrees elevation. -8 degrees depression may become a small issue during clashes around and over the, say, sand dunes and similar terrain structures, but overall it is acceptable and really cause problems very rarely. So the vehicle's autocannon has excellent accuracy. Look at that. 0.0899 degrees accuracy. This is another reason why we picked spin to win for driver instead of opting for, say, smooth ride or any other skills. So your gun is accurate enough and spin to win, in my opinion, is more necessary skill for warrior rather than smooth ride, say. So yes, excellent accuracy. And not to lose a bit of that accuracy while we are firing, because we will fire a lot with a warrior, let's pick accuracy skill for a loaded gunner, which will reduce accuracy decay rate while we're firing autocannon by 23%. And look at this sweet aim time, through 1.3 seconds. It's really nice. And 53.75 degrees per second turret traverse is very good as well. So basically, I would say that by targeting warrior is not a shining star, though. There are enough vehicles that can easily do better than this, but warrior targeting capabilities are more than enough to be a good medium range fire support. Plus, it has designated target ability if you choose to use it instead of adding mechanized infantry to your vehicle. So now let's pick the last crew skill, which is left for load gunner, before we will do a quick pros and cons recap and discuss the best ways how to use warrior during the match. As warrior has missile capability and as a commander I picked Sabrina instead of Rashid, then let's pick Sting like a bee skill, which will increase missile controllability by 15%. So now let's summarize the pros and cons. First thing, anti-tank tandem heat anti-tank guided missiles with good penetration, very good penetration, serious DPM, versatile autocannon ammunition, good reload time, 6 seconds for a missile, and even less, couple of splits of second for a autocannon ammunition. Good hit point pool, 2225. Good protection against, if not excellent, against HE ammunition, disregarding its caliber. Plus, it has some protection against other ammo types as well, if you're lucky, if you got ricochet. Not bad vision, really not bad vision. Totally at end we got 493.8 meters, which is quite good. This vehicle has good autocannon accuracy. Accuracy is 0.098 degrees. So this vehicle is harder to spot. When you move slowly, this vehicle does not lose any camo and can effectively creep around. So as vehicle has troop compartment, it gives you more opportunities to diversify your firepower, and it gives you opportunity to repair vehicle modules faster and capture objectives faster and more effectively. And now let's take a look on the cons. Well, as any vehicle, this vehicle as well has a cons. Well, its armor is vulnerable against AP ammunition. Well, as to be honest, as majority of AFVs and tank destroyers. For me personally, it felt a little bit clumsy, a little bit too bulky, too wide after I upgraded armor. So moderate camo, that's why I use Sabrina. -8, let me go back to show you. -8 degrees autocannon depression can sometimes, very rarely, but it is still can be an issue during the encounters while with enemy, say, scout tracks over the dune fights or other uneven terrain. And fixed missile launcher. Sometimes the missiles may hit the dirt if you forget it and launch a missile while you're standing on say a steep hill slope or similar terrain structure. Missiles simply hit soil in front of you, so be aware of that because it sometimes it's happening with me as well. So in a haste of a battle, you forget about that, and then bam, you're wasting a shot. So, but now you're informed, you will be much better. Okay, and then finally, let's take a look and let's discuss attack tactics. As a warrior, a little bit lacks speed to be an effective close range flanker. I prefer and suggest to play it as a medium range fire support, instead going for close range fire support only when it is when you are provided with a good opportunity and protection. You may be successful if you integrate your warrior into assault or defense groups consisting of several tanks, which can provide you with the armor protection, while you give them vision range advantage and fight back lightly armored opponents on the battlefield, protecting your battle group's flanks. Do some anti-scout track duties as well, not allowing enemy scouts collect easy points. So, and finally, due to its quite a good vision range, it's not bad, it's close to 500, warrior can be used as a secondary, I want to emphasize, not primary scout, but secondary scout as well, especially if the enemy team has no primary scout tracks left. Then you can go for scouting, definitely. But be aware, if say BMPs, BMDs, opponent BMPs, BMDs are equipped with optics, good optics, or you know, then they can easily outbeat you, and they have as well good firepower. So be aware of them. So, in 3 words, warrior can be used as medium, stationary, or mobile fire support. Main battle tanks, battle group component for vision, anti-light armor, and fire support. And finally, as a secondary scout. As a reserve or a primary scout, it depends on a matchmaker. Map terrain and abundance of enemy scout tracks. So these 3 are your main duties, and your main choice is how to play with warrior. And this is it for today. Thank you for watching and following Time Zone. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next episode.